Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. This time I am talking about my flock, more specifically about my flock of pelicans. I really like pelicans pens. I have quite a few now. I got my first one 2 years ago at a pen show and I've been hooked on them ever since. They're lovely to write with, they have great ink capacity. Most of the pelicans are actually piston fillers, so a lot of ink goes in there. Um, I really love them. Pelikan makes pens in many sizes, and I thought I would give you guys a size comparison of the pens I have. So I don't have all the sizes, but I have most of the sizes. I'm missing an M1000, but I'll share with you what I have, and I'll show you the different sizes, and you might also notice why I don't have an M1000 in a little bit. But let's switch shots and actually look at the pens. Okay, we've switched shots and you can see the different size pelicans right in front of you right now. Of course, this is not a shot from up top, but I will put a shot from up top in the description box to make sure you can see the sizes very well. It is impossible for me to film from up top, so I'm doing it like this. I will hold the pens next to each other to compare them in size, but I think a shot from up top is necessary. As you can see, I have quite a few different pelicans. These are not all the pelicans I have, but this is not a collection video. This is a size comparison video, so I might show you all the pelicans I have in the future, but for now, I just wanted to show you the sizes I have. As you can see, there's quite a big difference between the first pen, the 140, and the M800 on the other side, but let's just start with the 140 and go from there. So, this pen is a pen I've shown you before because it was in my currently inked. It is a Pelikan 140. It's a vintage pen. It has a 14 karat gold nib. It is a joy to write with. It is not very big, but it can be used unposted, especially if you have small hands. But it can also be used posted. It's still a very manageable size. This pen is in the lovely green striped finish, and it's one of the smallest pelicans I think there is. You have the M300, which is smaller, but I don't have one, so I can't show you. But as you can see on the sheet of paper, it measures 4.87 inches when capped. Posted, it's 5.72 inches. So that is quite small. I do have a Lamy Safari that I can put next to it as a size comparison. I can do that with all of them. As you can see, the Lamy Safari is actually much bigger. And it's not like the Lamy Safari is an extremely big pen, but this is just a very small pen. So I'll keep that up here to show you later with other comparisons. But this is a very cute pen. We can move on to the M120, which is a modern version of the classic, the 120. As we can see, they are very similar. So they both have the cigar shape. The clip is very similar. They have the gold cap band, but the M120 is slightly bigger. And the difference is that Pelikan did not put a gold nib on this pen. So this is actually a steel nib. This is not the original nib that came with this pen, by the way, because the original nib that came with this pen had a lovely nib marking on it. I think it's in a different box, but I wanted a broad nib on this, so I put it on there. But both are steel nibs. And for the price of this pen, I believe it was around 200 euros originally. I think that's quite a steep price for a steel nib pen. But it's nice. It measures 5.11 inches when it's capped, and it's 6.09 inches when it is posted. It's a very postable pen still. Now I have two pens, the M200 and the M250, that are basically the same size. There are a few differences here because the M250, the red one, would you say this is probably burgundy, is vintage and has a gold nib, and this is a modern, this is the Aquamarine. So back in the day, I think Pelikan was also already selling the M200, and they made basically an M200 with a gold nib, and that is the M250. So the M200, so the Aquamarine, has a... Can't really see what I'm doing because the camera is in front. The M200 has a steel nib, and normally the M250 has the similar nib to the 140 I showed you. This is a modern nib, so I'm cheating a little bit here. But the M250 was a budget gold nib pen, as opposed to the M200 that has a steel nib. So I love this M250. It has, like the 140, it has the sticker still on it. That gives the pen so much charm, in my opinion. But the funny thing is, when I got this pen, this says broad. It did not come with a broad nib. So someone switched the nibs on these pens at some point, or the sticker is fake. You never know with vintage pens. Ooh. Yeah. So the normal M200 steel nib, same size as the M250, but if you ever come across an M250, it's just a nice upgrade to a gold nib. It's 4.92 inches capped and 5.82 inches when posted. I do tend to post these pens, not for the length per se, but more for the feel of the pen, the balance, and the weight. And then I have another vintage boy or girl, whatever you want to call it. I don't have a regular M400, but I do have a 400 NN, which is an old 400. The sizes of the M200 and the M400 are very comparable. So I would say if you like the M200, you would like an M400. This pen, I got this pen for really cheap on eBay. And there are a few reasons for that. Mostly because there's a lot of discoloration on this pen. And when I got it, the nib was not properly seated on the feed. So I had to remove this nib from the nib housing and then re-enter it into there to get the tines aligned because it was crooked on the feed. That for me was basically too much pen repair that I don't want to do it again because I was so afraid I would break the feed. The feed is made of ebonite and it's fairly brittle because it's very old. But I wanted it to be a usable pen, and now it is. But yeah, it's not like the funnest thing. This is also, can we focus on this? This looks really weird, but I'm doing it anyway. This is fairly soft nib. It's lovely to write with. It's not the prettiest pen, but like, it was a bargain. It's a 400. It's stripy, I love that. And it has a story. So this pen, it measures at 5.18 inches. When capped, posted, it's 5.75 inches. When capped, it is not much different than the M600, which is 5.25 inches. Maybe you can put them next to each other. It does look like it's fairly bigger, but it's because of this tiny dome. And I think the original, like the modern M400 doesn't have that dome, so the difference might be a bit bigger when it comes to modern pens. So let's look at the 600. This is a pen shown you in my currently inked. It is currently clean, but I do want to re-ink it. This has a similar nib to the M250 right now. However, this big nib is slightly bigger, I believe. I can actually just show you guys. It's slightly bigger. So both are gold nibs. Both are modern nibs. I love the two-tone nib on the Pelikan, and I love the markings on it. The M600 for me is a very comfortable size to hold. It's not too big. The M600 is a pen I would not post. This is a very comfortable size for me. And I think for me, this is the best Pelikan size there is. I'll show you the 800 in a little bit, but this is my most comfortable Peli. I do not have very big hands, so going any bigger than this, I'll show you, might look a little weird. So this is the M800 Renaissance Brown. This is a gorgeous pen. It is so lovely. And I bought it for a bad reason. I got sick. I was supposed to go to a pen show in Brussels, but I got sick, and then I was like, where am I gonna spend all my pen money? So I bought this on eBay. It is a lovely pen, but it is very heavy. It is for me, it is too heavy, and it's also slightly too big. This pen is not comfortable for me. I'm on the fence about selling one of my M800s. I have another one. I have an M800 Ocean Swirl or 805 Ocean Swirl because they are too big for me. But the finishes are so lovely. The nibs are nice and big. Look at that nib. It's so gorgeous. But yeah, if you have medium hands or small hands, I would say M600 is max. M800, they are lovely, but not worth the money if you can't write with them. I still try to write with them, but they are definitely too big. So yeah, I can do a comparison with the M800 and the Lamy Safari. So they look the same size, right? And they are fairly similar. The difference between these two pens, my dog always wants to be in the video, is not necessarily the size, but the M800 is so hefty. Like, it's the size and the heft that make it rather unusable for me. So yeah, the M800 might go up for sale at some point. It's so lovely though. Also, I think my boyfriend will not like it if I sold the Renaissance Brown because he loves that finish. Look at that cap. It's so translucent. So nice. Anyway. All right. That's the mess of Pelikans. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, did I mention the sizes? The M800 is 5.4 inches, capped and posted at 6.37 inches. I would never post, like, who posts an M800? I guess there are people who do that, but I would not. So yeah, picture is in the description box. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. And maybe I will show you my full Pelikan collection then. We'll see. Thank you. Bye.